Hi everyone, hope you're all well and enjoying all of the learning and the online learning that you're doing at home. You're all doing an absolutely fabulous job using Google Classrooms, sending all the work in, which is amazing, so really well done. What Mr. Bailey and I would really like to do today is just talk to you a little bit about making sure that you remember how to stay safe online. We're very aware you're spending an awful lot more time online, schoolwork and perhaps some social life as well. So we just want to go over some of the things that we think will help you and remind you that it's crucial that you stay safe online.
So today we'd like to talk to you about your online identity. We'll be talking about other issues as well in future weeks, but today it's really how you present to other people online and making sure that your identity is kept safe.
So, first of all, let's have a think about our identity. What actually is our identity? So it's made up of lots of different things. It might be our name, our age, where we live, our family, our interests, and even our hobbies. What we want to really think about today is the parts of our identity that we share online. So the key question for you to think about for a second, is it sensible to share everything about our identity when we are online? So I'm hoping lots of you are shaking your head that the answer to that question is no. So because it's no, we might represent ourselves a little bit differently when we're online. You might have changed your identity already online, perhaps without even thinking about it. So we're going to ask you some have you ever questions, which will be on the next few slides, which we'd like you to answer in your heads as we go through. So have you ever seen or have you ever used an emoji? Have you ever used a filter online? Have you ever created or chosen an avatar or a character, maybe when you're playing a game? Have you chosen a username, especially maybe when you're online gaming or in some social medias?
Now, it's not just you who's got that online identity. There are lots of people across the world who have online identities too. There are nearly 8 billion people in the world, and more than half of them go online. So that's over 4 billion people with all those identities. We're going to have a look at just one of those identities now, and I want us to be online detectives. What is it that the person is sharing from their identity, and what can we learn about them? Is this person being sensible about their online identity? So here it is. I wonder what we can find out about this person from this page. You might want to pause the video now and have a look. And what can you tell about this person? Have a think. So, this is what we found out. They chose an avatar instead of a picture. They live in the UK. Their username is FlyingFox55. They have a dog. They like to play games like Super Mario, and they like pizza, music, scootering, fries, and sleeping. So we found out quite a lot about them, but do we know everything?
Okay, so we don't know everything about that person. So they've used their online identity really, really safely, which is brilliant. And there are, as long as it's used safely, there's loads of positives about changing our identity online. You can express yourself with some usernames or your avatar. It obviously helps keep you safe. It can be really fun. Changing those usernames, having the pictures, it's great fun, and that's brilliant. And you can be as creative as you like. But most importantly, you can keep your personal information safe and private. So, an online identity doesn't tell people everything about you, which is a really good thing. We've already said that when it comes to safety, we don't want people online to know everything about you. However, if you think, can you think of how actually this might be a problem for our safety? Have a think about it. Again, you might want to pause the video, have a little bit of a think. What problems might that cause us? Great. So hopefully you've given that some thought. And what we need to do is we need to remember that if we see someone online, we see their online identity. And obviously we've learned that doesn't tell us everything about them. So sometimes the things that people post or say, they don't reflect what they're really like offline. They might use usernames, photos, filters, or avatars that are different to their actual identity. Now, that's a good thing for keeping safe, but we need to remember that that person we're talking to, we don't know really anything about them actually in their offline world. So it's really important that if somebody else online has done anything that's worried or upset you, if you're unsure about something that you've shared online about your identity, it might be a mistake, or you might think a day later, oh, actually, I think I might have posted something that I shouldn't have done. It might say too much about me. That's fine. It's just a mistake, but you need to make sure you tell an adult that you've done it. Or if someone else online has asked you for personal information or for photographs or videos of you, again, you must speak to an adult if somebody has asked you for that kind of information. And we need to remember that those people we're talking to online, we need to remember they're a stranger. If we don't know them in the real world, they are actually a stranger to us. And the information that they've put out there may well not reflect the actual person that you're talking to. So that's all about online identity and how we need to keep ourselves safe, how we need to make sure we don't put our personal information out there. So if we're online as somebody different, really last very important question. Do you think, and a thumbs up or a thumbs down to yourself, that I can do whatever I want online and I can't get into trouble because it's my online identity talking and not me? So are you going to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to that one? Now, we're really hopeful that all of you, again, thumbs down, shaking your heads, no, we definitely can't. We can't do whatever we want online because it is our online identity, but our online identity, it's still us. Even if we're using an avatar or we choose to wear a gold cape or even a Batman mask, it's still...
It's me, Mr. Bailey!
And it might feel that because we're behind a screen or talking to people online who don't know who we are offline, we can say or do what we want. But we know that really isn't very kind and it really isn't the right thing to do. It's really important that we remember to be responsible, be respectful to other people, offline and online. And we must remember that whatever we put out there online, it's us that's saying it, regardless of whether people know us or not. Now, if we do put something out there and we do say something that we shouldn't or that is unkind, it's really important that you remember that when you put anything online, you leave a digital footprint. Just like when you walk in the sand, or if you were up the hill recently in the snow or out in that snow at the weekend, you were leaving footprints. You're doing exactly the same thing if you're online. You're leaving a digital footprint. And that really is important for us to remember. It means that you can be identified and that nothing that you post or nothing that you send can be done anonymously. You will always be leaving a trace that will lead back to you. And that's really important to remember.
So lastly, we want to give you a challenge. A challenge to design a piece of work about online safety. You might want to make a poster, a model, a storyboard, or even a short movie. If you want, you can have a look at this web address that we're putting on here. You can use this, pause the slide to have a look at that link. And there you'll find some ideas for short films. You can make up your own, whatever you like. We're going to set it as a task on Google Classrooms so that you can submit your work. And the deadline is going to be the first Monday after half term, Monday the 22nd of February. That should give you lots of time and maybe a nice project to do over the half term. We can't wait to see your fantastic creations.